Hello and welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Achman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you? And why?
I'm pissed off because I thought we had a strict no bestiality rule when it came to things we were going to watch for the show. Aside from that, I'm just peachy. Bob?
That rule was never shared with me, and I picked this movie. So I apologize. I was sharing this earlier on a text message with you guys. An entire documentary was made about how bad this movie was, and I have yet to see it. But we kind of had to see it to see what all the fuss was about.
I didn't look into any of that stuff because whenever I do research, we mess up each other's segments. So
right,
I'm flying blind.
Yeah. I didn't do any research because I have plenty of other shit I gotta get done. So
my research was watching this movie and then throwing up for 3 hours.
Yeah, true. I did too, but I wasn't sick.
All
right. Speaking of sick, let's head over to YouTube.
You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. All right, lightning round. 1, this was a lot better than people said it would be. 2, I saw this movie when I was a kid, and till this day, it's one of the greatest films out there known to humans. 3, this was an epic movie. I remember the sudden feeling of truth came over me after I watched this movie as a young boy. That feeling doesn't come over me with every movie, only certain ones. 4, the tiny little progeria dude, bless his heart, tiny little dude, tiny little buddy just wants to shake hands, be one of the chaps. And then the last one is this is a really important concept. And that's the entire comment.
Okay. maybe someone can explain that to me at some point, what the concept of this movie was.
Yeah.
Because I'm not understanding it at all. Perfect segment there. That really does illustrate how crazy fucking people are on YouTube. Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
All right.
Anaconda with J-Lo and Ice Cube. We know this one intimately.
Yeah.
Comes in at a 40%.
I think that's disproportionately high, but yeah, I remember that now.
Yep.
Yeah, it is insane. Species, I've never seen. Ben Kingsley's in it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are.
You've seen it, Bob?
I've seen it long enough to know the female lead was quite fetching.
42%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real Genius with Val Kilmer.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen this, but apparently it's decent. Came in with a 77.
Yeah, teenage favorite of mine. I recommend it. It's good, clean fun.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it got a good Rotten Tomatoes score, and so did Color Out of Space, which is a Nicolas Cage movie from 2019.
That's the Wells one, H.G. Wells. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but I heard it's fantastic.
86%.
Yeah, that's like at the front end of his renaissance that he's been seeing the last few years.
Okay.
So, yeah. He had some bangers of late.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn in The Cell came in with a 45%.
Okay.
So after 3 in the 40s and a couple with higher scores, we average a 58% this week. What do you guys think Moreau was able to achieve?
Based on what stuff I read, I'd say 25.
Bob, I was going to say 25 on the money as well. Like it's a quarter good, and that's like the original H.G. Wells stories, and then the 75% that is not good is the rest of it.
Well done, fellas. 22%.
Okay.
So just shy of that 25 mark.
So if we're on Price is Right, we would have both lost. So
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So then I win. Negative 36% and worst of its kind. Not as strong as last week, so we know which way the first test goes. But still, not a good score.
No.
Not a score that denotes a positive movie. A good movie. We'll move on now to test number 2. Ain't That a Pitch?
Now ain't that a pitch?
Who went first last time?
You.
Oh, okay. So someone else go.
All right.
I'll go.
Oh.
You go. I go.
I said it first, so what the fuck? All right. There once was a movie so cursed that some have deemed it the worst. The towel had been thrown in. Brando seemed to phone it in. The whole movie seemed unrehearsed.
It did.
Okay.
It really did. It looked like two backyard wrestlers who've never like had a conversation before or something.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go. Time is burning out like your last Newport cig. Don't try to tell me this problem isn't big. It's not immaterial. I'm super serial. We need to go get this island and kill the man bear pig.
I dig it. South Park bingo.
That's the idea.
There once was a man on a boat that floated to Dr. Moreau. He fell in love with the goat, but she couldn't emote, so he paddled away on a float.
I'll go Rob.
I'm going Rob. 5 lines is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
really nice.
All right.
What?
I'll take it.
Star grade?
4.
If it beat my fucking what's his face, Vice President Al Gore,
Man bear pig.
it's got to be a high score. So I'm going to give you a 5 for an average of a 4.5.
Okay.
Okay, test number 3, the most offensive.
Oh yeah. God, where do we begin?
And I'll meet you. What was that again? And I'll meet you. That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
Still love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with my normal, playful rhythm.
Okay.
Starting with sneaking, spying, soaking in dancing daughter.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Really awkward when he gets down like on his knees and he's just watching Fairuza Balk.
Yeah.
Is that her saying? Fairuza Balk.
Yeah,
And
he doesn't know how old she is. He doesn't know who she is. He just like went right to it.
Yeah, he went for it. And he doesn't know what she is. As a matter of fact.
No, exactly.
Yeah, just creepy. Just creepy. Basically berating your boys at brunch. Does Marlon Brando because like Edward, I forget his last name. Edward Douglas? No, that's
Yeah,
not it.
Douglas, that's right.
Oh, it is. Okay. Is talking about how they're an abomination essentially, and and Moreau's like, yeah, I know, but and they're there. They're just sitting there at the table.
Yeah.
Manimal medical malpractice.
Okay.
I mean,
All
this
of
is that's a umbrella for all of the horrifying surgeries that Moreau is doing.
Yeah.
I sent you guys a screenshot of this, but Hyena's hairy hardware.
Yep.
Why they decided to give him a big old dangling pear, I'll never know.
Big
but
old dangling pear.
I did not appreciate it. All right, bear with me for this one. Montgomery's mushroom-induced half-monkey, half-man, mush-mush merrymaking gangbang.
That deserved a long alliteration because it was crazy.
It was absolutely insane. I couldn't believe it.
Okay.
So they're in like the basement level of the plane crash village.
Yeah.
And or they go down by elevator into the like I don't know, forum. The like, what is that called in your high school? Like the stage and the seats is your
like the large group room or the auditorium or the
auditorium.
The calf gymnatorium. Yeah.
Where the goat guy like speaks to them. They go down there and they're all doing drugs and each other, and it's super weird because there's all sorts of animals mixed with humans down there.
Yeah, it's like Eyes Wide Shut, but with lots like if it were like a furry convention.
Yeah, very yucky. We mentioned this already, but number 6 is egregious age difference of Aisa and Edward.
Okay.
I wrote, let's bang now while you're still hot and not like a monkey person.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get in there before she regressed, so to speak.
Yeah.
I've got one more. It comes in the form of a clip before I ask you guys for mentions. This one is called Hair Care.
He's a beauty. He, she. What's going on in your head? Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
That was going to be my only mention, but you got it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Good on you, bad on him.
For the non-YouTube audience, Val Kilmer's character hands what's his name? I wrote it down because he is an actor that people should know. It's David Thewlis. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
something like that.
Yeah, kind of hands him a bunny, and he gives it a kiss on the head, and he's like, "Oh, so cute," and the Val Kilmer just snaps his neck. And we find out later, you're not supposed to kill anything for any reason. So
yeah, they're all vegans or something. Even though all those animals are ripped, they're getting protein from somewhere. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And we also find out that Val Kilmer's character Montgomery really loves rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
When they're at the dinner table. So I don't know. Did he snap its neck because he wanted it for supper?
I guess
he wanted to blame it on Douglas. I guess. Oh God, this whole thing's just sucks.
Stupid.
It's just outrageous.
Pile of shit.
Okay, Rob, do you have any mentions before we move it on?
No, just I have mostly catch-all stuff because I'm just confused. It was so disjointed. I don't we have thick skin. It's hard to be offended. So yeah, I'll save it for the catch-all, I think.
All right. Well, then we'll throw it to test number 4, the worst dialogue.
All right.
It's the worst dialogue.
This is a little clip heavy because we need you to see it for yourself on YouTube. We need you to hear it for yourself.
So what number is this?
Number 5. 5. A little Jimmy.
Listen. I'm gonna pay the captain of the ship to take you to Timor, which is about 4 days after you drop me off at my little island paradise.
What are you giving me?
Oh, you'll like it. I like it. It's little Jimi Hendrix and...
Oh, wait.
Ow!
Wait. Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor?
Well, I'm more like a vet.
Kita harus bicarakan mengenai orang ini. Kamu ini orang kulit putih mau main enak saja.
Excuse me.
Saya harus punya uang sekarang. Atau saya tidak bawa ke timur. Penting bayar saya. Yang penting bayar saya sekarang. Tahu? Bayar sekarang.
Start with the last. They had far too much foreign language, more than they needed.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were trying to get across there, but I love the little Jimi Hendrix. What he's calling the thing that he's injecting into the guy he just met.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he says he's more of a vet, which comes back to play later, I guess.
I guess, yeah. That makes sense in this context.
Then he's saying that all the creatures on the island are more animal than man.
Yeah.
If he's more vet than doctor.
Given too much credit.
Did I just give it too much credit?
So clever, yeah.
Hit the bingo card.
Yeah.
All right, number 4 is the only one that I'm going to do myself, so let's hit that little tiny 2-second bumper. 4. She's talking to Hyena about Edward as they're running through the jungle together, trying to escape everyone. And they run into him, and he has a stick. I think it might have been Horvath and not Hyena, but he has a big stick, and he's gonna beat Edward to death with it because he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
And then Aisa's like, he's a 5-fingered man. He's a 5-fingered man like you. See. And this brings into the question the whole 5-fingered man thing. They end up they shorten it to 5-man. He's a 5-man. Later,
they have opposable thumbs. Is that the thing? They're not Simpsons. They have. Yeah,
I didn't think of that. But you're probably right.
Yeah, I guess it is. But do the primate mixes are the ones with the opposable thumbs because the goat guy who definitely holds a staff, he must have a thumb. No, he's not.
Yeah.
But so he's a 5-man too, but he's goat non-human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know. Is he a 5-man? I don't really understand. I felt like 5-man was like he's one of the ones that are in charge because he's all human.
Right, you would think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just more confusing jargon bullshit from this movie that they didn't think through. All right.
Yeah.
All clips from here. This one is number 3. A mix.
You bore me. Go. Good girl. Hi, sweetie.
What is it you're giving them exactly?
It's a combination of endorphins and hormones. Keeps them from retrogressing.
They're progressing into what?
Well, it isn't pretty.
Well, it certainly seems to improve their mood.
Oh, that's my contribution. I had a little methamphetamine, some morphine, some shrooms, and some other shit. Keeps them mellow, keeps them coming back for more.
Well, it hasn't brought him back.
It reminds me of like someone in high school who like smoked pot once, like talking about like other drugs as if they do them all the time to like impress people.
Yeah, it does sound like he's just listing off everyone he's heard of before.
Yeah.
But that's what's so funny about it to me is like so is that his job is to mix hard drugs so that their minds stay psychedelic and they don't regress to like primal rage brain? Like I don't really understand what the regressing is because they splice genetics, right? So like what? Like the animal genetics are taking over the human genetics that they have in them, and eventually they're just going to become 100% pig or 100% gorilla. Like I don't fucking understand it.
Right, because growth eventually just like slows down.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But right in the beginning, Val Kilmer's handing out like pills in a line for everybody to come get their suppressor or whatever.
Yeah.
And the person who is like a warthog, he dismisses after giving the pill, and he turns and very nonchalantly, it took me like 3 listens to even know what he was talking about, but he says to the warthog character, "You bore me," and then he does a little giggle. And I also thought that was worth clipping because it's really, really dumb and not funny.
Yeah.
It's cheesy. It's out of pocket in terms of this movie's.
It's
screenplay.
Val Kilmer preparing for Batman Forever.
Dude, I if next week wasn't a Christmas episode, I was totally going to put that movie up. Not joking.
Yeah.
Hadn't he already done Batman Forever at this point?
That was Batman and Robin. I thought on the podcast we done Batman and Robin, but these are around the same time, like 96, 97, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I forget which one came first.
Yeah,
Who cares?
that might have been 95, but who cares? They both suck.
Yeah,
we care because this is a bad movie podcast.
Yeah,
that's right.
We should know. All right, number 2, God number 1.
Clever.
A god of all gods.
Tell them to obey me like they did the Father.
You all killed the Father. You all ate his flesh. So who is the new Father? Who is God number 1? Who should they obey? Him? Him. You see, there must be a God number 1.
Uncomfortable roar whispers.
Yeah, I don't know what that was a combination of, but there's no way that like guy is making that sound.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I thought God number 1 was something that Thewlis might have improved because it's really bad.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't understand what was happening. Like when he was talking, I didn't understand that he was pitting him against the other two, because it's not until, I don't know, 10 minutes before this that you realize that Hyena is after absolute power and not just vengeance.
Yeah.
Because they don't spell that out for you. They don't say that that Hyena wants to be the number one, that wants to be the new father. You think he just wants to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely don't think that Douglas knows about that at all. Like, the audience barely knows anything. Douglas knows nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't exposed to anything.
Right.
So why he would know, I'm not sure. And so it works, and he kills the other couple people, and then they all decide to turn on Hyena, and for some reason, every person who's pissed, every sort of person who's pissed, is all of a sudden like, wait, no, he was wrong. We should just kill him, and then we'll all behave. We promise.
Yeah.
It makes sense, and this is not going to ruin anything later that I have to say. It makes sense that this is complete garbage, because the H.G. Wells novel had a completely different storyline.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because H.G. Wells is a good writer.
Yeah, from a certain point, it was similar up to a certain point, and then it just went off the rails.
Yeah,
and anything you're questioning from the movie is probably that. Like, this is definitely their own doing, not the original source material.
Right. So it is a divergence from source material in the same way that what movie was that we did recently?
All of them.
Yeah, Cats.
Yeah. Cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does not work when you do that.
No,
generally speaking. All right. Let's throw it to the last clip of test number 4. This one is clip line number. Look at him.
1 second. Look at him.
That's why I put this medication on.
Look at these people! Look at him!
Mr. Douglas, I don't think that I have the intellectual ability to condense 17 years of study and experiment into 17 minutes of explanation. For the moment, it will have to suffice to say
talked faster
that the people that you witnessed before, living under my care and protection, are animals that have been fused with human genes in the course of a series of scientific studies designed by myself.
Wow. Has it ever occurred to you might have totally lost your mind? I mean, this is just satanic.
Judge not, Mr. Douglas, that ye be not judged, for by these judgments shall ye also be judged. And let he who hath not...
Fuck Marlon Brando, dude. Seriously.
This is his worst performance that I've seen.
Ever.
In the worst movie he's ever been in by far.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like, they're all the kids. This is what I'm talking about. All the kids are sitting at the table as they're having this conversation, and he's like, "Look at these people," and he points at them. And then the little guy gets it extra because he's like, "Look at him!"
His voice goes up like 3 octaves. Yeah. Here's the thing: I came in a little hot today because it took like an hour and 40 minutes to get my son to bed, and my wife Stacy, she's driving him around town right now, so he goes to sleep. And there's things I say in private about my son when he's not next to me.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like, this kid makes me want to shove my fist in the garbage disposal and flip the switch until I stop hearing my own screams. Like, I don't say that in front of the kid.
Right.
I gotta get it out, though.
Yeah, you gotta get it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily even about his appearance or his his quality of life that he must
Yeah.
be living. You know, you don't get to determine for that guy
Yeah.
what his quality of life is.
Yeah. It's
That's
very,
what he's announcing. He's saying, "Look at him! Like that must be miserable. Like look at what you've done to this guy. That guy might be a really happy little dude."
That's
you know?
woke culture, man. Cancel culture. You know, like they're being offended on someone else's behalf.
Yeah, exactly.
They're coming for you. The mob's coming for you.
They're whistling for no reason.
Yeah.
Have you seen the little guy playing piano? He seems like happy as hell.
Yeah, he's having
fucking good
a
at
time.
piano too. He's skilled.
Eating rabbit and you know,
other stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of acid.
Drinking. I think he has
meth.
some wine. Yeah, mushrooms. Having orgies with baboon people.
Sounds like
he's
a
living
pretty
it up.
No job.
I'm
starting to think they're making a lot of sense with this movie.
In that clip we played before, he's standing naked on top of the hood of the truck.
Yeah, just
letting it all hang out,
thrusting at the wind.
Yeah, I don't understand. Let's throw it to your ad read, Rob.
All right. Do you have a thirst that's unquenchable, a lust that's insatiable? Is your knob throbbing like a sebaceous cyst bulging with impatient fluids? We have a solution for you. Porn water. Imagine a tepid bath, scented vaguely like a springtime lilac bloom. As it slowly trickles down your throat, lifts your spirits, and leaves you harder than a slab of granite on a cold winter day. Porn water. The trickle that tickles.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome. That is so good.
Tag Zeke on this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tag Dr. Ezekiel. Hey man, we miss you. We had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah, Zeke was the man.
He was
knowledgeable. He knew his shit.
He did.
He didn't know how to do he didn't know what a limerick was, but I'll forgive him.
No, I told him next time we're gonna give him more shit.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get the limerick in order.
Yeah.
He's got to put his camera on next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Agreed.
Yes.
That way we know when to react and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm sure he's very handsome. So. Test number 5, the worst production.
I don't know if you guys caught the irony on that bumper, but the production itself on the bumper is really bad, and that was intentional.
No, I hadn't really thought about it. That's funny.
It wasn't that bad. So the worst production, I don't have a name for it because, in my opinion, it's just called Shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
So
Storm.
Let me just lay it out for you. Marlon Brando was still recovering from his daughter's suicide.
Jesus Christ.
The initial day of production, the French government set off an underwater atomic bomb near Tahiti, where Marlon Brando owned a small island.
Wow.
Now, Val Kilmer, this is also during the first couple of days of filming, turned on the TV and found out he was getting a divorce.
Oh.
Maybe 2 days into filming, the studio fired the director, Richard Stanley, due to their concerns over the direction of the film. John Frankenheimer filled in to replace Stanley. He clashed with Brando and Kilmer and the studio executives from basically as soon as he got there about the film's direction.
Wow.
So, like, there was nothing good. And I skipped a lot of things, right? I skipped, like, here's something I skipped. Val Kilmer was originally cast as the lead, as Douglas, as the guy who got washed up on shore. Basically the sympathetic character.
That makes more sense to me.
Right. And then the only reason he was moved roles had something to do, I forget why.
He could do a good Godfather impression.
There was so much to read about this.
Yeah.
That I'm forgetting some of the details, but yes, it was a fucking disaster of a production. So I'm just gonna say shitstorm.
Yeah.
This is one of those things like, Chris, we worked together for some time.
We did.
Know, like when someone has such a fucking awful day and they come in and they're just talking like very flat voice, like, "Oh, hey, Chris, how are you doing today? Let me tell you about all the fucked up shit that's happening in my life right now."
And then you grab a cutting board to defend yourself against the knife that might be coming at any moment. Because you can just tell.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the vibe they probably had on the set based on what Bob told me. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go over here now, and then I'm gonna say these fucking lines, and then I'm gonna disappear for 3 hours. See ya. Like everybody's just fucking had it.
Brando's like, I'm done. Just have them eat me. I'm done.
So apparently there was a moment, or at least a day of filming when all those creatures were in like heavy duty, like heat producing makeup. Like the makeup was heavy, the costumes were heavy, and they were in like, I forget where they were filming. It was somewhere like tropical, like Hawaii.
Yeah.
And Brando and Kilmer were both having hissy fits and wouldn't come out of their trailers before the other one. So it was like hours of like just standoff while everyone had to sit there and wait in the heat. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
That's brutal. Imagine
going to union gold time. Like that's like if you work an hour over 16 hours, you get paid an extra full day's pay. Just because they're waiting around.
Imagine.
Right. Yeah.
God.
Okay. Shitstorm. Wrote that down.
All right. Yeah. I like that.
It totally was.
Couldn't agree more. Test number 6, the worst acting.
Yeah, classic.
Okay, this is the first clip of test number 6 we will discuss after listening to Eventually.
The reading of his rights.
And how long have you been here?
I wrote a paper that was published, and we started a correspondence, so about 10 years ago, I came out, helped him with his work. Eventually,
he never finishes that thought. By
the way, like in Soldier, they trail off too. It's like it's just.
Yeah, we love you. We really respect you, but
it's just
we can't. Yeah, it's just that they never. It's always. I think you have to be like Gary Oldman or that like tier of an actor to be able to cut yourself off.
Yeah,
convincingly. It's never believable.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of Gary Oldman because he and what's his face, Aaron Eckhart, both have to do it in The Dark Knight. And Gary Oldman pulls it off, but Aaron Eckhart is on the roof screaming about how people in his department are the rat or something like that, and he realizes mid-sentence that the character realizes mid-sentence. Something turns around, stops talking. Always seems unnatural. Aaron Eckhart, unfortunately, wasn't really able to pull it off.
Yeah,
like a lot of actors do this in movies because they're told to, and it never seems right.
Yeah,
like the I just had a thought while I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it never seems natural.
Gary Oldman, one of my top 3 actors of all time.
He's up there for me too.
He was cast as Val Kilmer's role in this movie.
No,
but he was in rehab. So you couldn't do it. Funny you mentioned it. Yeah, funny you mentioned it.
Yeah. Also, I like the the thunder and lightning immediately following his eventually.
Yeah.
Just lame. It's a trick.
Just like in real life, how it always happens when you're saying something ominous and it suddenly starts storming behind you. Yeah.
Number 2, shocking.
Move back! Move back! Stop! Get back, stop!
Calm yourself, Mr. Douglas. Don't add more pain to their already diminished lives.
Why have you done this?
Don't you feel the heat? As I do. I can't tolerate the sun. And what it's doing to me and what it's doing to all of us, of all life on Earth. We must return to the compound. Keep the weapon if it comforts.
I need to pour more ice into my Napoleon hat.
Yeah, I did not include that ice water hat thing, and I wish I did because that scene is uncomfortable. Actually, that might have been most offensive because he's having Aisa kind of massage him in an uncomfortable way.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
The
And
ice
then
hat. The ice hat was Brando's idea, by the way.
What, to make the character seem more insane, or
No, he just thought it was a good idea to use that as a cooling mechanism.
maybe he does it in his trailer.
Yeah,
maybe
he's got Veruza Bulk pouring ice water on his head in a tin cap. Who knows? What's so bad about that clip is not necessarily David Thewlis's screaming, although it's not on point, in my opinion. It's the animal people reacting to being shocked. And it brings up a question that I don't have in the catch-all. Because they're all like, and one of them is just on all fours like, moo.
Yeah.
It's unintentional comedy, for sure.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I just lost it. The thought is, he's got this little like beeper, right, with like a bunch of different buttons, like, and they're all numbered.
Yeah.
There's definitely not enough numbers for how many creatures he has on the compound. So it's like, how is he in control of specific? Like, there's a part where at the end, all of the creatures are being zapped practically to death. And I'm wondering, is that like you just like hit all the elevator buttons at once, light them up like in Elf, or
either that,
like,
or it shocks all of them, and the numbers are like the order of magnitude of the shock.
Yeah, because a lot of them are not reacting.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't make sense.
There's no way that it makes any sense. But if you're not on YouTube, get on YouTube and watch that clip because it's really funny. Just watch the actors who are being shocked. It's actually really funny.
TheWorstMovieEverMade.com every Sunday, guys.
Every Sunday. Thanks
Sunday.
to Rob's magic abilities with his magical fingers.
It's just dragging and dropping. It's all good.
Number 3, this one is called Animal.
That is in thy own. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam that is in thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye. Neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet. And then give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
What does she need?
Animal or man?
What am I looking for?
Need a cast in the start.
Listen. Don't fuck around. What do I need? What do I need? Tell me what I need.
Oh! Oh! Where is this man? Shut up! Shut up! Where is this man? Where is this man?
Who's the animal?
Who's the animal?
Calm. We've got to think and reason this through together.
Destroy the serum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, this is why Val Kilmer should have been cast as the protagonist and not in this scene, the antagonist, right? Because Val Kilmer being the guy in the chair who's doing the like almost funny Marlon Brando impression.
Yeah.
With the speed that he was reading the Bible verses, I actually was like, this is kind of impressive on its own. But when he is attacked by David Thewlis, you're like, I don't get why he's at all intimidated. Like, Val Kilmer's like a jacked dude, and Thewlis is like not at all, not intimidating in any sense. So when he's getting aggressive of Val Kilmer, I'm like, what is stopping you from just beating him up instead of screaming like a 40-year-old getting attacked by a pit bull or something?
Yeah.
You know what his Brando impression sounded like?
What?
The love interest in Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. You know that blonde chick?
Yeah. She's in other stuff. Isn't
Yeah.
she in like Chasing Amy?
Yeah, that's just the first one that she's in all the Kevin Smith films. The Big
Yeah,
Daddy
yeah.
was the first one I just thought of though. Like,
Yeah. She does have a goofy voice.
What are you gonna do? What's your 5-year plan?
Yeah, good call. I don't know if anything about that irked you guys, but I didn't understand the reaction. If the roles were flipped, like you said, Bob, I feel like it would have made more sense. But
I wonder.
yeah, maybe that's how they.
We'll never know.
No, we won't. You know what we will find out though is what the fact is in Fact or No Fact.
Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful. All right, fact or no fact. Got my keyboard ready.
Fact or no fact. I just call it Gilligan's Island of Dr. Moreau because I couldn't think of anything else. So I got a treat for you guys this week. We got well, you'll find out. It's a surprise. Okay, so fact or no fact, we're looking for the fact out of the 5 things I'm about to tell you.
All
right. First of all, the actors who played Dr. Moreau's quote unquote children, you know that they call themselves.
Yes.
They actually spent most of their downtime, which they had a lot of, engaging in alcohol, sex, drugs, and just general debauchery.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, second, Marlon Brando. You know, the famous Marlon Brando. He wore a small radio receiver to help him remember his lines. Because he felt no need to memorize his lines.
All right.
Speaking of Brando, Marlon Brando became obsessed with the dwarf actor Nelson De La Rosa. That's the super small guy.
Mm-hmm.
He actually asked for scenes together when they were like hugging.
Okay.
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 Going back to worst production, after the studio fired the original director Richard Stanley convinced the makeup crew to make him one of the background mutants, so he could keep an eye on the making of his dream project. And I don't know if you noticed the through line between last week and this week, but Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
His character is blind, and Perlman had lenses put over his eyes, so he actually played the role blind.
Oh, cool. I wonder.
All right.
All right. Figure it out.
So, number 1, the people in the painful, sweaty, hot prosthetics waiting around were getting fucked up. That makes sense. I do the same thing. Especially because, like, if you're just, like, running around and grunting and you're sweating and, like, you have, like, contacts in, like, they're not going to sobriety test you. They're just going to assume you're just, like, delirious from the heat. So it's a good time to just fucking party on the payroll, right? Brando wearing the radio receiver, just knowing that his daughter committed suicide and he was going through some other shit. I could see like him just being on like some sort of like Klonopin or like some sort of benzo to like kind of keep him from having like panic attacks. Because I probably so I could see him wanting a radio receiver to like as he's working through the grieving process and like being in this movie instead of like, you know, in solitude where he should be.
Believable.
Became obsessed with the dwarf character. I could see that because any normie can become with a dwarf. But
yeah, we've all had our particular non-normie that we've been.
Michael Jackson had that little monkey for a while, so it's like basically the same thing.
Rob, this is a no-no.
It's the worst movie ever made.com. I find the firing, Stanley being fired and like getting the makeup crew, because like I don't think accounting would let that slide because he's got to be like on set in makeup getting paid, and if he was kicked off his own project, whoever's looking through those line items will see his name somewhere and be like, "Fuck that, he can't be here." Like we kick him off. And Perlman's character is blind. Oh, that's believable. I'm gonna go with the children partying though, because I that seems like a really miserable set experience. And if you're being paid a set amount and you're sitting around, why wouldn't you get fucked up? It just seems smart business move, man. Like you just party your ass off and get paid.
It does seem believable, but I'm gonna say that I'm stuck between Brando having the receiver for the reasons you listed, Rob, and Ron Perlman being lensed so that he can play the character blind. I believe that too. I don't believe that the first director wanted to hang around. I feel like if you get fired, you just leave.
You want to recoup your losses and earn money somewhere else, probably.
Yeah. That's going to be the one, though, you watch. And then Brando obsessed with De La Rosa seems like a really weird detail. Maybe he felt like the need to nurture her after the loss of his daughter or something, and he saw this like little guy, and he was like, "I'm gonna give him hugs and stuff." I don't know, but I don't want to guess that because I don't want to believe it. So I'm gonna go. For what we have so far discussed him with Marlon Brando in this movie, and for what I feel like is my truth about Marlon Brando in this movie, I'm going to say he had a receiver.
Okay, so this is my early Christmas gift to the both of you.
Okay.
Because next week we can't just have an all holiday episode. I got to have a sneak in with my fact or no fact.
Yeah.
They're all true. Every single one of them is true.
Bob Foolery,
You're kidding.
Slick bastard.
That is Bob Foolery.
You both
to
win.
the max.
You both win. This movie has so many goddamn crazy facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right,
you're both right. He wore a radio, and they spent their time in sex and alcohol and stuff like that.
Huh.
He was obsessed with a dwarf. The director did get made up as a background mutant.
Can't believe that.
And Perlman did request to be blind.
Imagine getting fired at your job and you're just like, can I dress up different and still come back though? Like I won't be the teacher, says Bob. I'll make the lasagna. I just want to make sure that the kids are learning math all the same.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird.
There's so much more. I just got it down to these 5. So,
man, that's crazy. All right, well, thank you. I love winning, as you might have noticed.
We all won. Thank you, Bob.
That was my. I didn't win, but you guys won.
Is that a non-cash fringe benefit? Where do I claim that at your end?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
That's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
I think you put that on Schedule E.
Okay.
Schedule E. Got it.
Schedule E. Yeah.
Let me jot that down as we throw it to the catch-all.
All right, and while that's Bumper's playing, I got to tuck my daughter in real quick. She escaped. Be right back. Keep going.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Okay, I do have a lot.
As you
Bob,
should.
You remember? Did you listen? Were you a part of? You probably weren't a part of the house.
Keep it going. I gotta get my daughter an ice pop real quick, so I'll hop back in.
Get that ice pop.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Get that ice pop.
No problem. No problem.
The House on Haunted Hill episode we did.
Is that the one with Chris Kattan and
yes.
Yeah, I listened to the episode and I watched like a half the movie.
Okay. So you must have seen the intro for that movie.
Yes.
Not the outro. Yeah, they had like a maybe it was the outro, I don't know, but I wrote House on Haunted Hill 90s style opening, which was also very spawny. Like the splitting frames with the like text just flying at you for no reason, and like worms and you know, like just nasty stuff. You know, it was very 90s, like get you in a weird vibe before the movie starts.
I recall
that, but it was just cheese. I looked up the Java Sea because I just didn't believe that was a thing, and it is a thing. It's part of the Western Pacific Ocean, south of Borneo and north of Java.
Huh. Okay.
I just thought that was cool that it actually does exist. I was just like, man, that's a cheesy name for a made-up fucking place. But it's not made up. It's real. There just happened to be a shark in the water below their lifeboat.
Of course.
Right? There was no blood in the water yet. They fell into the water and then started bleeding in the water. But there was already a shark there.
Yeah.
A killer shark.
Yeah. In the endless expanse that is the ocean, you would think that, the odds are there's not a shark directly below you.
Yeah.
I was told failed Japanese hotel. I'm given a POW camp. Not happy.
Yeah.
I was expecting something extravagant, like something like the Shining style hotel. I was very excited for that.
They were more like a sandals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edward isn't really too concerned about leaving. He's more concerned with the beauty of Moreau's daughter, which is just like he doesn't seem to care.
Can we walk through that real quick? Okay, so he wakes up on a boat. He wakes up on a boat, gets taken in by Val Kilmer. He wakes up and the guy's like, "You have no real reason to trust me, but I'm gonna pump you full of drugs. I'm gonna bring you onto this island. Actually, no, I'm gonna drop you off and I'm gonna go somewhere else." Then like he wakes up, change of plans. We're all here together now. Like, wouldn't that set off like a bunch of fucking red flags and be like, I'm not like I should probably just jump in the water and start swimming that way.
Yeah, no joke. I'd rather go with the pirates.
Yeah,
he kind of started that way, but not. I don't know. It wasn't consistent at all.
Like
You're right.
he opened the window and he's like, there's bars. Okay, and then like sees her dancing. Was like, oh.
Yeah, it was weird that he was like trapped in the room, and Kilmer's like, Montgomery's like, it's for your own good, and I'd be majorly like big time concerned at that point. And then you're right, then he just gets horny.
That's one step away from you are chained to a toilet bowl. There's a saw over there. Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not just that, he was told it's for your own good. And then from that point on, he was not locked in his room anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I wonder if they're trying to give you like a like the fact that he's being drugged like the other subjects, so like he doesn't know how he's getting about. He's blacking out and waking up in different spots or something.
This is okay.
Too
so
much credit.
I've had
too much credit.
I've had this thought a few times now, and it's it reminds me of the Wicker Man, because he's kind of an unreliable narrator in that way, and he's trapped on an island, and he's trying to like do good, but he doesn't know how or what's going on. Like he doesn't understand.
And there's probably like LSD in the water and shit. Like
right?
Yeah.
He's probably getting that mushroom medicine without his knowledge. The soundtrack was more curious child adventurer and less like trapped person on a weird like animal island.
Yeah.
The soundtrack made no sense to me at all.
No.
It was bothersome.
It was. Do you follow the sounds of screaming gorilla woman into the secret medical facility at 3 a.m.? Because I don't.
No.
Hell no.
Okay.
Yeah.
The makeup is not great. I'm not going to totally run them down for it, but the running and jumping of the hyena especially, but the characters is really funny to me. It seemed like their hands weren't real hands. They just extended, like their hands were inside the wrist of the character, where they had like an extra like werewolf hand on top of it to like make their arms look longer or something. But otherwise, they're completely human.
And some of the facial hair was just like the makeup person like had like a wad of Elmer's glue and a wad of pubes and like started slapping it on them, and they're like, "Oh, it's time for my lunch break," and they walk off, but they never came back. And like, well, it's action. We got to get on the set.
Just go for it.
Yeah, just do it. Just use it. Just lean into it.
I had our goats especially smart. Why is the most articulate creature a goat man? By the way, it's Ron Perlman. We already mentioned that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the goat guy is the smartest among them.
Because they have herd mentality, probably.
Because he's the goat.
I don't know. Yeah, because
he's the goat. All right, that I accept.
I win.
It. Yes, you win.
Yeah.
Moreau is Emperor Palpatine in the Pope Mobile. It's just like, oh man. What do all of the hybrid people eat in the crashed plane village? Oh shit! There goes my green screen. You get the maps again. There you go.
Oh fuck yeah!
Enjoy. That was like a missed outfire moment. One number 2, dear. Okay, well I'm not gonna bother to fucking fix that. You can look at my maps again. So what do all of the hybrid people eat in the like side village? And any idea?
Probably the rat. were they hinting that it was rabbits? Because like, what were the rabbits for? They never
they had
said
a
what the
bunch of
rabbits were
cage.
for, and they were finding rabbit corpses. That wasn't the one Val Kilmer broke because they cooked that one.
Horvath
So-
or Hyena or whatever was eating
Yeah.
rabbits. But like, what? You're not so the whole village isn't surviving off of abrasive conies, to put it in the Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Who knows? Not me.
Yeah.
Cool dueling piano scene with Dr. Evil and Mini-Me.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Fucking
movie.
I heard you mentioned. What in heaven's name are those things on the boat? Are they rat people? Ha. Because seriously, it's actually really funny. Like, what are those things? Are they rats mixed with human genetics? They were standing on two legs.
I think
it's
so.
when David Thewlis is trying to escape and he falls into the boat, and then there's things running around. And he's like, "What is it?" And in a cage, there's one, but like there's 40 other ones that aren't in the cage, and they like are about to attack him, and they look terrible. I think it's CGI, but it looks awful.
Yeah,
it is, and it's both.
Why isn't Azazilo, which is one of the sons, in trouble for murdering Horvath if there's no killing under any circumstances, which was just spelled out by Moreau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it without Moreau's consent. He murdered Horvath, the like smartest of the ape men.
Yeah. The whole like rules and moral code really falls apart when you find out they're all being drugged out of their fucking minds. Because it's like he's like they're obedient. They're this is the next phase in humanity. We're gonna get rid of all the evil. Like you're not. You're shocking them into submission. You're loading them full of drugs, and then like every single rule they clearly break the second you're not fucking looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is. He would know for sure that he's nowhere close.
It's like carrying water in a basket. It just makes no sense.
But I guess they're showing that humanity can't be perfected.
Yeah, true.
That's the idea.
Give him more credit, Bob.
Yeah, too much credit. Shit.
Here's why. I just want to give you guys some insight into how it was that I achieved another victory, in fact or no fact. It's because I knew that Moreau shows up a half an hour into the movie and then dies at 1 hour. So he's really like in the movie for a half an hour. It's an easy payday for Brando, and I felt like boy, I really should just go for the radio receiver because he didn't want to even learn his lines. He just didn't give a shit. And then I got it right, and here we are. Why didn't Montgomery tell Moreau about the chip issue, the taser chip? He knows Hyena ripped it out.
Taser chips, I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just like, and how is it that it took so long for intelligent beings to realize that they had taser chips in them? You know, like how is he the first one, and why did it take so long for them to notice this fucking thing that's in their skin that hurts, like is the source of the hurt?
But how'd they find it? I mean, honestly, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
they can find it within their own bodies as directly as you'd think it'd be a mining expedition. Like here, how about here? How about here? And they
they made it like this size. This is for my like little light thing that my aunt got me. Hey sis, thank you. They made it like this big, and they put it on their ribs where there's nothing but skin and bone.
You'd think put it on like the base on like the back of your head and like the base of your spine, like where if you pull it out, you'll hurt other shit. You know,
sure, or put it in your ass cheek, like deep in the meat.
Deep in the meat. All right.
You know where you like feel it with your fingers.
Yeah,
but they go like this, and like, oh, I'm feeling really tired today, you know, and then they just like rub over this fucking paperweight in their chest. It's just crazy. The chaos ooze does not come complete with clearly demarked sides or motives, so it's extremely messy. I don't know who's on whose side and why they want to kill what's going on once the chaos.
Yeah,
I feel like I host. Hey, let's just have a funeral out in the woods with lurking man bear bait company. there's 30 guys trying to kill you, and you're just gonna
Yeah.
have a fucking funeral for Moreau by the river, like out in the woods.
Yeah.
They seem totally.
It's what he
like
would have
how
wanted. Yeah.
yeah, right. It's like how Edward Douglas or whatever doesn't want like he doesn't care. Like he should be very concerned
Yeah.
and should really want to get off the island, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Once there is a whole clan of murdering primates out there, they're just going on about business like they're not about to be, assaulted by these beings. Anyway, why in the wide world of sports did Montgomery destroy all of the serum?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Montgomery's
Motives are unclear.
Yeah, Montgomery's role in this whole thing is very unclear. It feels like he was trying to sabotage it from the first second of his part in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. It does. It just seems like he wants to be the father, which makes you wonder why he didn't eat Moreau.
Yeah, and he introduced the outsider, and that always starts chaos. So,
True.
Right.
Speaking of Val Kilmer,
no one mentioned this in South Park Bingo yet.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm not as South Parkian as you guys are.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The guy with the Hawaiian shirt and his
Mephisto.
miniature. Yes. That was completely modeled after this movie, no question.
Yeah, with he made all his claim to fame was making creatures that have 5 asses.
Exactly.
No, literally,
and
it
he's getting a little
It
dude.
was.
He's getting a little dude next to him. Yeah.
Wasn't that in episode 2 with the
Yeah,
the
it's
elephant?
very early. Very early.
Yeah. Like seasons 1 through 4, I think it climaxed with who's Cartman's father, and then they kind of tapered him off, but he was still an ancillary character for a little bit. But they kind of
What was his name?
phased him
Dr.
out. Mephisto. Dr.
Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But that was totally taken off of this.
And when Cartman joined NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association,
Yes.
Mephisto got outed because he was part of a different NAMBLA, which was the North American Marlon Brando lookalikes.
That works.
So,
that works.
So perfect. So
They outed
obviously
themselves.
true.
Yeah.
All the hybrid monkey men can shoot with accuracy, AK-47s no less, and drive.
Yeah.
Why do they
shoot
have
better than-
AK-47s?
Yeah, exactly. They can shoot better than most villains in most movies we watch.
Yeah. It's
True.
a callback to like any action movie where like Stacy drives a hatchback and I drive a sedan. Like my lights are on a little twisty stick and hers are on a little panel toggle on the front. And like when I drive the car that's not mine, I'm like, wait a second, how do you do the lights?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
And like it's always Jean-Claude Van Damme jumping on a motorcycle, knowing exactly where the throttle is on a model he's never used before. It's the same thing.
Yes.
They just like they know how to use something they've never touched before, like immediately with expertise.
Right.
Check out our Hard Target episode.
Hard Target, the worst movie ever made.com, guys. Check it out.
Hyena's death was one of the most awkward and confusing ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
They built him up in the matter of minutes like he was a supervillain.
Mhm.
And then everyone, his whole gang turns on him. And then he decides he's going to do it himself and walks into the burning building and then falls to his knees and like consumes himself in fire while screaming father.
Yeah.
And none of the things that they were going for hit. If they had 3 nails for the plank of wood they were trying to install into the wall, once you let go of the plank of wood, it would have just fallen off the wall because nothing went in. Nothing drove where you wanted it to. It just didn't make any fucking sense at all.
Yeah.
Drove me absolutely wild. Fairuza Balk killed off because they don't want Edward to leave with anybody that can confirm his story. Is that why?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Her death was kind of shocking. I think it might have been the moment of the movie where I was most moved. I moved maybe an inch to the left.
She was kind of hot, but not my type.
She is. She's
Weird
trashy hot.
fans.
She's like the essence of trashy hot for me.
Yeah.
As my brother used to call it, dirty pig hot.
Slam
Dirty
pig.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was that what she was regressing to?
Yeah. Slam
Maybe.
pig regressions. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. So if you guys don't have any mentions, all right. Rob's alternate ending.
All right.
Rob's alternate ending. Oh yeah.
Val Kilmer reveals himself as the Caped Crusader, has sex with that bat-looking guy, a tarantula lays eggs in Marlon Brando's ear, and H.G. Wells spins in his grave like a pinwheel, powering the entire operation.
Well done.
I can see that. It's much better. It's much better.
Yeah,
well
he's
done.
just going, Batman, and it's like making bat thrusts into that other bestial creature.
Oh, and that by the way was a warning. I'm totally putting that in the poll. Batman Forever. I know we've done Batman before. For a good movie, for a bad movie, I don't care. Batman Forever is
At
so
least
bad.
in Batman Forever, you do have Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, and Val Kilmer, whereas Batman,
they're all terrible.
And Robin was but like Schwarzenegger and Thurman, like I'm just saying the first Schumacher Batman is closer to the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton ones than Batman Forever is, at least. It still sucks.
Yes,
it's not. You can't hold a candle to it, but it's.
I'll find something. I'll find something to beat it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. You might. Bob usually wins.
Yeah.
And this week I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
I know the audience. I manipulated them.
That's true.
You are. I'm just gonna make a bunch of Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
Like another 40, because sometimes we need. Anyway, bad credit names.
Bad credit names like.
I'm Harvey Manfredson.
Such a good movie. If you haven't seen A Fish Called Wanda, just go watch it. It's awesome.
Will do.
You gave it up.
Yeah, I did. Firuza Bulk. I hate to do it. Your name's weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Yeah.
It's a little weird. You hot slam pig monkey lady. Whatever you are. It just goes with the territory that her first name is Firuza. All right. Jane Payne.
That's pretty cool.
Ouch.
Sounds like a supervillain or a superhero. Something.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kitty Silver. Another one. Nikki Dooley.
Oh, okay.
These all sound like women that will show up on the first date with a U-Haul.
Yeah, and the next guy will just let them move in because his name is Michael Pickles.
Yes.
All right.
Moon Hua Sun. Moon Sun.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. I got two more. I feel like this is offensive, but I'm gonna say it. Guido Hemstetter. First name is Guido.
What a Guido.
Okay. And the one that outpaces the rest by many miles, Rod Glasscock.
We've done it.
Oh,
we can end this segment and I'll be happy.
His first and last name.
Yeah.
His first and last name.
Can we add demerits to every other movie that doesn't have Rod Glasscock?
Yeah. That's the default demerit is they don't have that guy.
Yes, honestly. For real. Unbelievable. Okay, let's compare the movies.
All right.
Time to compare the movies.
That's fucked up.
That I sound like a 3-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I bother my wife with that all the time.
Cool.
I won't tell you when. I won't tell you when, but
you just did.
No. I kid. All right, Ice Pirates and Dr. Moreau. Let's get into it. That's the catchphrase I've gone away from. Worst of its kind, negative 55.2, and worst for Ice Pirates. That is quite a feat. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Speaking of doctors, Mr. Moreau comes in with a negative 36 and worst as well. Respectable.
Yeah.
Deserving. Not enough.
Enough.
That's almost 20%.
It's never enough for Ice Pirates.
Never a never, never a never.
You got yourself a party, mister, with that 5-finger death punch.
Okay, pitch. Team tie and a 5-star. It's also not beatable. Wait, Rob, you came in with a 4-5.
4-5, yeah.
This week, but you still lose.
Yeah.
To Ice Pirates.
That's fair. I'm okay with that assessment.
Yeah. And what a score, just to give it to you one more time. Great job, Rob. I didn't think anybody would beat my Al Gore, but you did it, and I'm not bitter. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna skip the offensive minigame for now. Get back to it later. Dialogue. What's worse?
Moreau.
Oh my God. I feel like
say Moreau.
Yes,
because
Moreau.
Brando says like one word a minute, and you're just like, dude, just get it out and move on to the next scene. Whereas at least in Ice Pirates they had like a kind of a witty banter. It wasn't great, but like at least it moved.
Yeah.
Moreau, they had H.G. Wells as backdrop, and they fucked it up.
Yeah,
So,
and they didn't use him. Use him.
Moreau.
Okay, I completely agree. Production budget cuts versus shitstorm. I think it's obvious here.
Shitstorm.
Yeah. Acting pathetic for Ice Pirates. Nothing written for Dr. Moreau. I'm probably going to give Ice Pirates the nod here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Brando is not great. Thelis does fine.
No, Brando is not only not great, he's horrible, but I feel like everyone else makes up for it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost want to give it to Val for the Brando impersonation that was not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely going for Godfather, as I said.
Yeah,
before.
and he was doing it in like a mocking tone, so like it worked,
Yeah, I agree. So 3-2 heading into the demerits, and then we'll do the offensive minigame. Do you guys have a demerit or any demerits for Dr. Moreau?
Unclear motives, like across the board.
Unclear motives, I agree with.
Okay.
Bob, you good with that?
Yeah.
So is that worse than just confused? Because Ice Pirates was a action adventure sci-fi that was last minute turned into a comedy because they didn't know what to do because they lost funding.
But also, Ice Pirates didn't have Glasscock. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
You can't give space herpes without a glass cock.
So should we wash it? Because that's what you should do when you have a glass cock that has herpes. You should wash
space herpes.
You should wash
future.
Okay. We're washing it.
It's a wash. Washing the glass cock.
It's a wash. So it really comes down to the offensive minigame.
Washing the glass cock. Okay.
I just can't stop washing it.
Yeah, me neither. It's you got the right soap and bliss. I've got the urge for herbal in the shower for another half an hour.
Make sure you use the porn water to.
You gotta use the porn water
take yourself to a new stratosphere.
So many callbacks.
Yeah, wow, what a stream.
Yeah.
Okay, the offensive minigame.
Okay.
I don't know if I did this in the right order. I don't care. Humanoid hog hybrids or raising the roof on Karina's recovery receptacle.
Raising the roof.
Yeah, raising the roof.
Because like you see a little bit of side boob, and you're like, I'm gonna potentially kill her so I can get a closer whiff.
Exactly. I'm with you on that one.
Ripping rabbits or refusing to raise your rapid-born rugrat.
Ripping rabbits.
Ripping rabbits.
Okay, you guys called for the bonus round, and you know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna do it. Baboon brothel.
Okay.
Or turning tricks with toads.
No hard R. Okay.
No. Yeah, you're right. I knew that you knew it was coming, so I avoided it.
Baboon brothel, because I feel like this movie, if they're all doing drugs on the set and they're all like cosplaying as fucking like baboons and goats, they created the birth of a fucked up fetish for probably half of those people.
I honestly wonder how much of that was just caught on film.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't they're wearing suits.
Really, they just were capturing live footage of those super alcohol and cocaine infused extras. Just all the kids that were just doing shit. Okay,
Yeah.
just kidding. Ice Pirates wins because of the hard R. Bonus round is canceled. And Ice Pirates takes it as the worst movie of the season, but just
Sounds
barely. Does that sound good to you guys? It feels right to me.
It feels right.
It feels right.
Gun to
Okay,
head, I'd watch neither though. If there was a gun to head and I had to choose, you could just paint the fucking wall, dude. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not watching
yeah.
either of these.
Yeah.
Well, so for next week though,
Yeah.
we're doing. Rob, you still have that drum roll handy?
Yes, I do.
The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Come
Calvin.
at us. Tell us.
Scott Calvin.
Tell us why you disagree. Because I'll just laugh at you. It's actually a bad movie. Classic Christmas movie, sure. Bad movie, absolutely.
There's a great
horrible
fact I'm not gonna drop because it'll probably be on fact or no fact. But there's an alternate in the beginning, an alternate beginning to this movie that is worth noting. That I'll bring up next week.
Well, should I try to remember to write your alternate ending into the outline as an alternate beginning?
I'll remember it. It's a piece of trivia from the film. It's not like something I came up with.
Yeah, but okay, so you don't want to use it as your segment.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you saying that removes it from fact or no fact. So sorry, Rob.
Okay.
All right, the Santa Claus. Bob, why don't you say your goodbyes right after me because I go first because I win.
All right.
I love you, the listener. I'm talking to you specifically. Your name is John. Go ahead, Bob.
They were all facts.
I'm about to go on another 3-hour drive with my whirling dervish of a son. So Whataburger's in my near future. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I'll be thinking of you guys when I'm eating my sweet and savory bacon burger.
Worst movie ever made.
The worst movie ever made.com.
The worst movie ever made.
Email us.